survival mode. It is survival mode according to the information that digital media outlets are laying off. We did a video this morning talking about BuzzFeed. Now it turns out that Insider is also laying off 10% of its staff. Twitter is abuzz, no pun intended, with talk about all of these layoffs and where this leaves them, because there are a lot of digital journalists on Twitter, in some cases spending more time tweeting than actually writing articles. You know how it goes, especially when they're tweeting about how they're going to quit Twitter and how awful Elon Musk is, and yet here they are. They're still on the platform, but now they're complaining about all the rich dudes in charge. The rich dudes in charge are the ones, causing problems for these poor journalists. Never mind that the rich dudes in charge are the ones who are bankrolling these websites. In many cases, handing out round after round after round of venture capital, and that has run out, and journalists are going to face the music. Just like Bill and Ted. Remember that movie? Yeah, it kind of came and went. So we're going to talk about this. Before we get into it any further, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. We've been kind of chronicling the decline, the demise of digital media ourselves. We own a couple of small digital media outlets, websites. I've said before that the ad revenue is drying up compared to what it was a couple of years ago. Currently we're not hiring. Just so you know, we're going to try to keep the people we have on staff. But it's pretty bad. I mean, look, and I feel for these people in some cases, not in all cases. In some cases, these people can't get out of the industry fast enough because they've commandeered platforms using rich dudes' money, like this Kelsey McKinney. Where's Kelsey work? Defector Media. Kelsey here, might be shocked to find out that many people who have come into digital journalism only came into it because of the rich dudes bankrolling it, because it was never really sustainable. We got this person down here. The bleakest part about the repeated media industry mass layoffs is the fact that many talented people don't have the luxury of returning to the profession. They could if they built their own websites like we used to do. I built my own website. I've been doing it for years. You can do it. Like I said, don't complain about the rich dudes bankrolling digital media and making poor business decisions if you can't do better yourself. And I know it sounds cold and it sounds heartless and it's kind of a cliche, but you need to learn to code. And I'm dead serious. You need to learn to at least run your own stuff and not just park it in a seat that's been warmed for you by somebody else. And I'm not saying everybody does that. I'm not. But, this is the day of reckoning. The thing is that kills me about mass media layoffs is there's no ladder to climb for writers. When you get fired, you're kind of kicked down to zero. So these journalists are kind of freaking out on Twitter. We've got a journalism community aid site on WordPress. How many people, though? I mean, look, I get that this is a good idea for people that were unexpectedly laid off. Unfortunately, I don't think these layoffs were to be unexpected. I think that there has been every indication that digital media was going to collapse for years. I mean, I'm talking at least 2, 3, 4 years now. All kinds of indicators that things were going to go south, especially when the venture capital ran out. It was very obvious it was game over, right? Speaking of game over, when all the video game sites started collapsing, it was obvious it was game over. When sites were getting sold and shut down before the Silicon Valley bank run, it was obvious that it was game over. And only now are journalists sort of lamenting that they don't have a fallback. And I'm sorry, I'm really sorry. Again, I started out as a journalist. I wound up working as a web developer. I had to learn to code. And then I got into doing some other stuff, starting some other businesses. You can do it. You can make it as a journalist or a quasi-journalist or an armchair YouTube ranter or whatever, but you got to build that up yourself. You can't depend on somebody to come along and give you, here, guys, have this platform, because that's what's been happening. That's what's been happening for years. And again, it was never sustainable. I think the people that are good at what they do will find a way to continue to do what they do. It's going to be like comics. And the rest of the people that can't do it on their own, they're just going to have to move on to something else. But let's talk about this. This is coming from The Information. Shuttering of BuzzFeed News signals shift to survival mode. Survival mode. Digital journalism is in survival mode. I don't think we're going to see as many digital journos laughing at YouTubers these days, because at least YouTubers are still, for now, making money doing a journalism. And these people are unfortunately not going to be making a lot of money for much longer. BuzzFeed, like much of the digital media industry, is moving into survival mode. BuzzFeed said Thursday it would shutter BuzzFeed News, the highest profile part of its business, but the one that loses money, right? We talked about that. BuzzFeed, which primarily makes money from videos it distributes on social media and through tasty cooking stuff. They sell all kinds of tasty branded stuff, and they have their channel, has an enterprise value of about 200 million. It used to be billions of dollars. Now it's like 200 million. So then they're talking about Insider. They said the closure of BuzzFeed News reflects a broader retrenchment across the digital media industry as firms reckon with a severely depressed digital ad market. Also Thursday, Insider says it's going to lay off 10% of staff. I'm getting to that. Facebook's laying off people too. And people were angry. They're like, how could you be so cold? I'm like, I don't know what to tell you. When there's no money to pay you, your feelings don't matter. I've been laid off before. It sucks. And I'm sorry. I'm very, very sorry. But when the money runs out, I don't know what you expect companies to do. In some cases, in a lot of cases, it is unfair. In a lot of cases, the executives get golden parachutes. Look at what happened again, not to harp on the Disney thing, but look at what happened with Disney. Look at what happened with Christy McCarthy, their CFO, getting an $11 million bonus for 1 year while so many cast members got laid off, and that could have bankrolled the cast member food pantry for like a decade or more, and she got it just as a personal bonus, so it's not fair in that regard, but companies got to do what they got to do sometimes, and it sucks. You're going to have to be responsible, more responsible for yourself and your own career trajectory, and not depend so much on other companies deciding, whether or not you work in an industry or whatever. I think that people should view employment as you work with a company for a certain period of time. You work for an employer for a certain period of time, but that is not your identity. That's not who you are totally. And make sure you always have a backup. It doesn't matter how secure your job is or how secure you think your job is. You're always replaceable, always replaceable. Anyway, that's just my old man rant, right? The cuts included closure of a Protocol Tech News site at Insider. Vice Media, another once highly valued new media firm, has been on the market amid a rash of top executive exits. While the ad slowdown has buffeted digital ads giants such as Meta Platforms and Google, it has hit smaller media firms much harder. BuzzFeed reported a 27% drop in advertising for the fourth quarter of 2022. I can confirm this. Ours was actually steeper than that. In fact, little inside baseball, our ad network just got sold, and they're gonna pivot to something else, I guess. For now, they're gonna still serve up banner ads, but the interesting thing is our ad network is the same ad network so many other pop culture and gaming news sites use. So if we're hurting, they're hurting too. Absolutely. In the first quarter of this year, smaller digital media firms have experienced ad revenue declines of 20 to 30%, according to execs at 3 digital media firms. Insider founder Henry Blodgett put it to employees at an all-hands staff meeting today. The industry is dealing with a significant recession in advertising spending. According to a recording of the meeting reviewed by The Information, Insider, like BuzzFeed, relies on big tech companies like Meta's Facebook and Google to distribute its content, and changes those companies have made have hurt the smaller digital media firms. Facebook, for instance, has moved away from longer videos made by firms like BuzzFeed in favor of Reels, which does not offer publishers a way to make much advertising revenue. Everybody's like pushing short videos, and I'll tell you the truth, they don't make much money. Even YouTube Shorts, like you might go up subs, you might get views, but you're not making money. These kinds of shifts are affecting both our distribution and the revenue share that we get from a lot of the platforms. Yeah, so a little more than a decade ago, BuzzFeed was a leading member of a generation of high-flying digital media startups. They had a $1.7 billion valuation in 2016. None of it was real. None of this was real. So this is coming from Insider. This is coming from Barbara Peng, who is the president. Okay, the president of Insider. Team, as you know, our industry has been under significant pressure for more than a year. The economic headwinds that have hurt so many of our clients and partners are also affecting us. Unfortunately, to keep our company healthy and competitive, we need to reduce the size of our team. We have tried hard to avoid taking this step. We're sorry about the impact it will have on many of you. The reduction will affect about 10% of our team. As part of this, we intend to make changes that would impact members of, As part of this, we intend to make changes that would impact members of the union. Union rules prevent us from directly engaging with members, but we will work closely with union leadership to provide clarity on our proposed changes. Our goal is to be as transparent as possible. Everybody unionized because they knew this was going to happen. They unionized so they could get a parachute, an exit package, right? If your role is being impacted today, you'll receive an email in the next 15 minutes. The email will include details for a meeting today in which a senior leader and a member of our people and culture team will walk you through your package and answer any questions. At least you're getting a package. So many people that get laid off, especially in 2009, 2010, did not get a package. I did not get a package. I just got shown the damn door. Yeah, we need to change all the locks on everything that you touched and you got to get out. You got to get out, guys. To those to those being pushed out the damn door today, we're extremely grateful to you for your contributions here and for helping to build Insider's newsroom, business, and culture. Your work has made a difference. It's been a privilege. Blah, 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 blah. Minimum of 13 weeks base pay. That's not bad. Plus an additional 2 weeks for every year you've been here. That's actually a pretty decent package, all things considered. So here's the thing. Oh, here, somebody's bringing this up. In a lengthy note, Insider's going to use AI for reporting and editing. Yeah, okay, so I think the union actually does play into this. I think it's become cheaper to just have AI do grunt work. To do, why would you pay somebody, $100,000 a year to regurgitate press releases? I think we're going to see publishers pivot to more freelancers. Because, again, you can cut freelancers loose without as much red tape as cutting loose full-timers. And honestly, it's not sustainable. It's not sustainable to have a newsroom full of people making six figures, writing hit pieces on fans and regurgitating press releases and doing the bidding of Hollywood studios, which themselves are running out of money. This is a market course correction. And again, if you're a digital journalist and you're actually good at what you do and people want to read what you produce, you'll be fine. Even in the interim, even if you're not going to make your six-figure cushy, whatever New York living job, you'll probably still find a way to get paid. You can do something like Substack or OnlyFans. You'll find a way to get paid and people will pay you for your work. If you're frankly not that good, or you're not that known, you don't have a platform, and basically the platform was carrying you, if people don't know who you are specifically, then you're going to have a hard time. I would work on trying to make sure people actually know who you are and people actually like you. Because right now, a lot of these journos have set themselves up to be antagonistic douchebags, and they've gone out of their way to antagonize readers and fans that might have actually supported them if they hadn't been such antagonistic douchebags. So don't be an antagonistic douchebag. Do a good journalism, and maybe you'll get paid to do journalism again. If not, for God's sake, have a backup. Because nothing is guaranteed. Nothing in this life is guaranteed. So I'm going to wrap this up. Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. We'll talk later. Help support the channel. Go to thereef.support and get early access to podcasts, videos, and other content. That's thereef.support.